Okay guys, it's another day out today and we're out on the red chrome. So the classic 350 red chrome. So the previous clip I had on the Vespa GTS 300, and today we're out on this one, giving it a bit of a ride out around here, tell you what I think of this bike. So if you're new to the channel, there's a heap of stuff on this classic 350 Reborn in this red chrome and also the halcyon grey, so there's no shortage of material if you want to look at it. Now, to give you an idea, if you're first here and you're wondering about the classic 350 or something to that effect, give you an idea on price. They come in here in Australia at $8,000 for the standard colours, up into the chromes, which will cost you an extra $800, so $8,800. As this bike sits here, it's got a few options on it. So it's naturally got the touring seat, it's got a rack, it's got a heel toe shifter, it's got the off-road style tyres, which may give you a little bit better look there. It's also got a side rack on it too, so it's got a few things on there above the standard bike. And to give you an idea, it'd probably come in all up around $10,000 I suppose for this one. So that's what the damage would be, so gives you something to think about if you want to go that far. But if you were just going out and forking out $8,000 for the stock standard bike, you'd be very happy with that. Now, one of the main questions people get asked when they buy one of these classic 350s, or they're thinking about it, how fast will it go? Well, I suppose it'll go a lot faster than you can walk, so look at it that way. So if you can walk as fast as this one will go, well, you're a pretty good walker, or runner, should I say. So in other words, it'll plod along at 80, 90, 100 kilometres an hour. 80 kilometres an hour is very, very relaxed, no work whatsoever. 90, you can tell in the motor it's starting to move on a bit. And when you get to 100, you know, like it'll run along at 100 kilometres an hour on the flats with no trouble whatsoever, and does struggle a little bit on the hills, but you know, you can't have it all. So apart from that, they are really good looking bikes. They weigh 195 kilos. I think they've got about a 13.5 litre tank. They've got a 5-speed gearbox. They've got a reasonably heavy clutch on them for what they are. Oh yeah, also on those options there's those touring mirrors there. I forgot about those sitting there. Never thought much about that until I just looked over. But overall, you know, they are, well, to pun the phrase, a classic bike, and a classic bike to ride. So if you're happy with something that looks old and runs along pretty well, because it's got fuel injection and it's got dual channel ABS, so it's got a bit of stuff in that line. And you know, like, I suppose the biggest trouble you'll have if you have one of these is people coming over at times having to yak to you how it goes. So or how old is it, or did you restore it? Any of those sort of questions that'll run through their mind, and you know, like, you'll be there to give an answer. Now, while I'm at it, I'll tell you a little bit about these tyres I've put on it. These are Moto's Tractionator Adventure, and you know, I've only done probably 100 kilometres on them so far. I find them really, really good on the dirt, extremely good when I was coming up here on the dirt road, and when I've been on other dirt roads. Bike's very planted and stable. See, look, even I don't know what options I've got. I forgot about the bloody sump guard there too. It's got the sump guard there, so, you know, main reason I forgot about a couple of those items, I've only just put them on recently, so, you know, you don't think much about it. But if you're in the market and you're thinking to yourself, you know, if you just bought the standard bike for $8,000, would you be happy with that? Yeah, of course you would. I had one of these in a halcyon grey with just total standard. I rode at 11,000 kilometres through dirt roads, rough roads, four-wheel drive tracks, everything. And it was only with this one I decided I'd just go more off-road in the tyres. But you'll be surprised if you take your time. You know, you can go anywhere you want to. Gee, the flies are bad here today. Look at them on this seat. Very rarely you get out into the paddocks around here and you're attacked by flies, but apparently for some reason today is the day. I've been to this spot quite a few times and I've never bumped into any flies, but it must be a good breeding season, or they might be breeding this time of year and they're out and a bit active. So that's all I can tell you. Yeah, so this bike, like I said, it'll cruise along at 80, 90, 100 kilometres an hour, and like at 80 kilometres an hour, if you're happy with that on the back roads, that's just loping along. What I do find now is when I'm riding these dirt roads with these off-road style tyres on it, the bike's a lot quicker on the dirt compared to it was with the stock Seat tyres that were on it. So you know, from that point of view it's all right. But I have noticed from the cold start that the steering's fairly heavy now with these tyres on it, and as you get up to around 80 kilometres an hour they get a slight hum in the tyres. But what happens is steering seems to lighten off a bit when you've been riding the bike for 10 minutes. I don't know, in that case the tyres warm up or something to that effect, because I'm not a tyre expert, I don't know, I only just put them on there. But I find that, you know, going along it does that job pretty well. And you know, like after a while you don't take as much notice of it as you did in the beginning. At the moment I'm running about 30 pound pressure front and rear. I think I can go up to 40 with these sort of tyres, or they will handle 40, but these ones are tube tyres. And I was thinking of putting it on one of my other bikes there too, but in the end I decided I'd throw it on this one just in case I did a bit of dirt riding. And now I've been doing a bit of dirt riding, I've got no complaints at all, because this is handling the dirt pretty good. So look up here where there's somebody come in, maybe the department that cleans up the roads around here, and all those yellow box trees up there. So you know, as far as that goes, everything's good in that line. Haven't had a chance to test the rear rack yet, but what I decided, I've got 5 bikes, virtually new ones from 22 up to 24. So 122 model, 223 models and 224s, and this is a 23, and I decided I'd bring out one bike per day and give it a bit of a review on it. And while I'm here, at the end of this clip you'll see 2 things. I'll throw the drone up and send it over towards the dam there in the paddock, which looks really good. There's a multiple run of dams, and then I'll show you a ride clip at this bike running along and that too. So that's sort of something at the end. If you want to hang on and look into that one, that'll be something for you. Now if you want to know much about, if people sometimes ask me what I think of this touring seat, I really like the touring seat because it's softer, and I find the bike's a bit softer in that line, because the standard shocks on this bike aren't really much good at all. And that's why when I had the Halcyon Grey I ran the classic 500 shocks. But the only trouble is I was too lazy to take those off when I sold it, and I missed out on that one. But what I did find now, I've gone to these Motaz or Modos tyres, whatever they call them. I find now, surprisingly, you wouldn't think so with big tread tyres like this, but it does actually run the bumps better. Even when I was coming up along this track here, I was hitting ruts in the road and it was just going over them, no trouble whatsoever. And out on seal stuff, it's the same too. Like, it rides the bumps better than what it did with the other ones on it. And you would think straight away, front tyre might be a better one to have a look at. But you would think with those big chunky tyres on it, it'd be a lot harder to ride, but not the case. The bike's gone softer in the ride. Well, vibration wise it's pretty low compared to a classic 500, so it has got a little bit there in the foot pegs and slightly in the bars, but by no means threatening. So if you got onto one of these compared to a 500, there'd be just no comparison. So you were thinking you might like to get off the old shaker and get into one of these, I think you'll be fairly happy with it and you won't have any worries that way. You'll get a slight bit of buzz running through it, but no more than what you do if you picked up a Honda, Suzuki or any other one like that. And in some cases probably not as much. So you'd be really happy in that line. So I think that's about sums it all up. There's not really much more I can tell you. It handles really well, like with stock tyres. Like, you can run it through the corners quite well, as good as what you could a classic 500. But on these tyres I got now, I don't think you'd be in that same category as handling wise there, but taking account I put these on for a special purpose, do a fair bit of dirt riding on it, and but I did put all those kilometres on the Halcyon Grey under all conditions and know how it ran in that one. So don't forget, at the end of this clip or straight after this one, I'll do a drone shot, send her up there and just show you what a really beautiful dam's over to my right over there, just straight through that paddock. And I think I should get some good shots there. Then I'll just show you how this runs along with these tyres on it too. So don't be afraid if you're going to get one of these bikes. You don't have to go all this crap what I've done with tyres, all the other accessories. If you just go in by the standard bike for $8 grand, you'd be 100% satisfied with this. And there's been plenty of people got back to me at times and say, yeah, Warren, you steered us in the right direction when we bought one of these bikes. We're really happy with it.